Hey there, this is Henry from Midtown Comics coming to you guys from Times Square, talking to you about some of the most amazing books that are coming out this week. But before I get started, I do want to let you guys know that we have tons of really amazing events coming up. This Friday, we've got Ben Percy joining us for a signing of Nightwing Annual. It's going to be at our downtown store, and we hope to see you there. But we also have some secret events that we have not announced yet, so keep an eye peeled towards our social media channels, and of course, get ready for New York Comic Con. So it is an amazing week in the world of comics, and there's tons of books on the wall, and there's just so many people here that I thought that the best way to really talk about these books was to pull a few favorites off to the side and present them to you. So first off, we've got a double dose of Batgirl with Batgirl Annual as well as Batgirl issue number 26. We've got a brand new writer on the series, and Margaret Scott has done a great job. If you guys read Batgirl number 25, you already got a taste for what she has to offer, but now we've got two issues on the same week, so it is an overload of great Batgirl adventures that you guys should be checking out. And also, keep an eye out because, as you can see by the Sean Gordon Murphy cover, we are going to be seeing some cool covers from him and possibly, we already know, we're going to be getting a new design for Batgirl, so keep an eye out for that coming soon. Then it is a cool week for DC, and I had to talk about them all because how could you just pick one? We've got all of the Looney Tune DC crossover books. Now, if you guys have been checking these out in the past, we've had some really fun reads, and of course, we've had books like the critically acclaimed Batman Elmer Fudd. So this latest batch of adventures is a ton of fun. Just going through them, we've got Catwoman fighting off, facing with Sylvester and Tweety. She's teaming up with Sylvester. She's facing off against Tweety because birds and cats, they don't really get along particularly well. But this series is a lot of fun, and it's a great one-shot adventure. Then we have Harley Quinn with the Gossamer, and this is really fun because it's just big, it's wacky, and it also brings Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner back to Harley Quinn, which is really fun because, of course, they've had like a crazy, amazing run on the character. Then we have the Joker and Daffy Duck, and this one is terrifying because it's the Joker and Daffy Duck. You know it's going to be crazy. Brett Booth draws a really wild Joker, and there's actually, if I can open up the book here, we've got a lot of wonderful double-page spreads of the series that you guys should be checking out. Brett Booth's art looks fantastic, and it's just cool to see Joker and Daffy and their crazy dynamic. And then a cover that scares me to my very soul. We've got Ben Oliver doing the cover for Lex Luthor and Porky Pig, and this actually terrifies me because this is just like Uncanny Valley, like it's far too surreal. But the issue itself is a lot of fun because, of course, it's Lex Luthor, it's Porky Pig, and it is just wacky, and I really appreciate that. Then a book I'm super excited for. We've got the Nightwing Annual, and what I like about this, we've got Ben Percy, who I told you guys is doing a signing with us this Friday at Midtown Comics Downtown, but it also brings back Otto Schmidt, who of course worked with Ben Percy throughout his Green Arrow run. So we get to see that team reunite for Nightwing, and the story with the Dark Web has been absolutely incredible. I've really been enjoying it, so you guys should check this out and join us this Friday for Ben Percy. It's going to be a blast. Then we have the Red Hood and the Outlaws Annual, and this is really cool because, as you can tell by this Kenneth Rocafort cover, you've got Red Hood teaming up with Roy Harper once again. Of course, they were the classic Red Hood and the Outlaws back when the New 52 first launched the title, and this is really cool because it follows up on some of those plot threads, plays on their relationship, and it also showcases the incredible work of Clayton Henry on interiors. Then we have the brand new series for Scarlet. That's right, Scarlet is back. It is really cool to see this back because I love the original Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev story, and now I'm really happy to see Jinx World revitalized under DC Comics, and I'm really excited to see where the story goes from here. It is an America that is not too far from our own, where things are just terrible, and Scarlet faces off against her very own government. Then we've got a lot of really cool indie books that are coming to you guys this week. First off, we've got the final issue of Harbinger Wars 2. Harbinger Wars 2 has been great. It has brought together all the heroes of the Valiant universe, and now we get to see them valiantly fighting one another, trying to achieve their individual goals, but Livewire is fighting for the oppressed. Really cool stuff. If you guys have not been checking it out, you really should, because Matt Kint has done a great job, and Thomas Fiorella's art has been top-notch. Then we have the concluding chapter of Power Rangers Shattered Grid. Shattered Grid was the story that made shockwaves throughout the entire Power Rangers fandom, and yesterday was the 25th anniversary of Power Rangers. The original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers aired 25 years ago. I remember watching it as a child, loving it, cherishing it, and I have loved Shattered Grid because it has taken everything I love and cherish about the franchise and either killed it or maimed it or destroyed it or just obliterated it, and it's been awesome, and I'm really excited to see how this story concludes. Then we have the brand new issue of Modern Fantasy. This is a really fun take on everyday life, but with a fantastical flair. Kristen Gudsnuck's art is really great, and Rafer Roberts creates a fun, silly cast that we can really enjoy. How do you not love Lizard Wizard? He's kind of the best thing ever. This series has been really cool, and it is on issue number 3. We've got 1 and 2. You guys should be checking it out. Then we have the brand new issue of The New World. Issue number 1 blew my mind. Alice Cott and Tradd Moore's art. Oh my, what do I have to say about Tradd Moore's art? If you guys don't already know, Tradd Moore is one of the best artists working in comics. The attention to detail that the man provides is absolutely absurd. I am loving New World, and it's a 5-issue miniseries, so it's a very easy investment to make. You guys should definitely be checking this out because it is awesome. Then we have a new series for Rick and Morty fans. It is Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons. There seems to be an air of fantasy that is rising through the public consciousness. This is really fun if you are a fan of Dungeons of Dragons, if you are a fan of Rick and Morty, and it's just really cool. It's silly. It's great. And you know that Rick is probably like the dirtiest dungeon master ever, so this is going to be cool. Then we've got a wealth of great books coming out from Marvel this week. We've got to start off with a brand new issue of Exiles. The last issue of Exiles made me super, super happy because it felt like a classic Exiles tale. You take your team, you throw them at a new world, you see something weird but somehow familiar, and it ended with the introduction of this like Western version of the Black Panther that was like the coolest introduction for a character I've seen in ages. I really like what Saladin Ahmed has done with the series, and Rod Rice's art has been top-notch. You guys should be checking this book out. Then we have a very different tone in the brand new issue of Extermination. In one book, we've got fun, we've got fantasy, we've got crazy stuff. In this book, we've got dead X-Men. If you guys have not picked up the first issue yet, you definitely should because not everybody is going to make it home in one piece. We have the original members of the X-Men that have been launched through time to the present day. Of course, you guys already know that, but what you don't know is what's going to happen next because this very well could be their final chapter. Then we have the concluding issue of New Mutants Dead Souls. Now, this book has been really cool, and if you guys know Matt Rosenberg, you know that he's going to do something absolutely terrible to all the characters that we have grown to love over the last few issues. This is really cool if you are a fan of the classic X-Factor run by Peter David, or if you're just a New Mutants fan, or if you're just an X-Men fan and you like watching your favorite people suffer. This book has been absolutely incredible, and Adam Gorham's art has been really great, and I'm really excited to see how things wrap up here. Then, talking about wrapping things up, we've got Wolverine, The Hunt for Wolverine, Dead Ends. What a great name for a one-shot. This is the concluding chapter of The Hunt for Wolverine. We've seen all the different squads going around the world, globe-trotting, finding clues, going on crazy adventures, and meeting bizarre incarnations of Wolverine, which I think are great because they're pulled from continuity, so that's really cool. But now we get to see everything wrapped up, put into one spot, and getting ready to launch the red-hot Return of Wolverine. You guys got to check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun to see where things go from here, and this issue sets everything up that you need to know. Then we have a new series, Venom First Host. Now, I have the Paulo Rivera cover in front of me, but there are a variety of really awesome covers from great artists, and you guys should be checking this book out because it is a really cool way to find out what's going on with the changes in Venom. This is also really cool because, of course, it features, let me see if I can find a cool page. It features the interior art of Mark Bagley, and Mark Bagley is one of the definitive Spider-Man artists. Let's just show you a nice classic Venom page here, because if you guys have never seen him draw Venom, he did a great job back in the 90s. He drew Maximum Carnage, he drew Ultimate Spider-Man. He's done so many Spider-Man books that like I would run out of breath before I ran out of material. This is awesome. You guys should be checking it out. It is a fun story that you guys can jump in on because it's issue number 1. Then some of the collected editions coming out this week that you guys should definitely be checking out. First off, we've got the New Gods trade paperback. This is the first edition of New Gods that I've been able to hold my hands in a very long time. I am super excited because I'm a big Jack Kirby fan, and it doesn't get wilder than the New Gods. So if you guys want to check out one of the hallmark creations of the King, this is a book that you'll need to pick up. It's got issues 1 through 11 of the series, and the original graphic novel, The Hunger Dogs. So that's super cool. Actually, it's got 2. Also has Even Gods Must Die. So it's got tons of value. Awesome book, and I love all of these spines that they've put on these books because they all look really nice. If you are a Jack Kirby aficionado and you want to just buy them all, they'll all look really nice together. You can put them under K for Kirby. Then we have James Bond Hammerhead collected in its entirety. This is really cool if you are a James Bond fan. Andy Diggle does a great job on the series. I don't know why I'm flipping it around, but it's a really cool series. You guys should definitely check it out if you are a classic 007 fan and you want to see some cool new adventures. Then, talking about Venom, we've got Venom in the Epic Collection of Amazing Spider-Man Volume 18. Now, you know the Epic Collections, they don't put things in order, but they tell you where the order will be when you have the entirety of the Marvel Universe all lined up. This includes Amazing Spider-Man issues 295 through 310, the annual number 22, Web of Spider-Man number 33, and Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man number 133. So this is really cool because it's got all those original adventures, including, of course, Amazing Spider-Man number 300, the very famous cover, the McFarlane art, and just check this out. Super cool stuff. You can tell just right here. And you know, because these Epic Collections are one of the most comprehensive ways to pick up Marvel's vast library of characters, this is something you're definitely going to want to add to your list in anticipation for the new Venom movie. And then, because it is the last week of the month, it's Previews Week. And what is Previews, you ask? Well, Previews is the one place to find everything you need to know about every single book that you guys want to read. So it's got everything you need to know from Marvel, DC, all your indies. It is in one spot. And what I like, as you see it coming out right here, it also includes the Marvel and DC previews. So DC features The Green Lantern, which is awesome, Grant Morrison, Liam Sharp, and then it also showcases Shazam, Jeff Johns, and Dale Eaglesham. This is the first ongoing series that Jeff Johns has done in over 2 years. Very cool stuff. And then we've got the return of the Uncanny X-Men coming out this November, as well as the 700th, that's a big number, of issue of Avengers. So this is really cool, really fun, and you guys are going to find out all about them if you pick up your installment of Previews. And that is our week. There is tons of stuff on this wall, so be sure to join us here at Midtown Comics. We can help you connect with your favorite books, and we will see you soon.